Hello everybody, and what we're doing today is we're looking at the peco turntable. Just as a recap, what we have done is we have cut the side of the turntable off its base. Reason for that was because it was warped, and the easiest solution was to cut it back, because in operation the turntable was catching on the sides here, and I thought the best way of doing this is to cut it away completely. And then what I've done also is I've cut out the base for this slightly bigger than it needed to be, and added the 3 segments inside here already. You can see here there is a bit of damage here from when I actually tried to apply a bit of heat to it to try and reshape the side. It didn't work out very well, so I ended up doing this in the end. Also, what we're going to do is we're going to use the Metcalf brick card sheets here, and they're going to go in there like that to help cover up the gaps. And also we will be fitting these as well, these edging strips here from Jumbo Lane Printing. We'll be fitting those, so once 2 pieces are in, you won't even see the gap at all. One other thing we're going to do is at some point we are going to cut a hole out of the one side here and put a recessed piece of cardboard here within there as an inspection hole for maintenance on the turntable. Some turntables have these holes where people can actually get into to do any maintenance on the wheels for the turntable itself, and other bits and pieces too. Okay, so now we're at that stage with that. We've put a base in here as well for the turntable to be screwed down onto, and also this is going to act as a base as well for the mechanism once that's fitted. Now over here we can see we have the turntable base. This has been heavily weathered, cracks also fitted, and also static grass in there as well. You can also see the track top has had chrome paint applied to it. This is a nail varnish that you can purchase, a chrome nail varnish, and that gives a really nice effect on the top there. So it makes it look old and worn, and yet still very much used. Then we come to the bridge itself. Here you can clearly see that I have weathered this side. It's still not completely finished yet. We still need to apply a bit of rust to the railings here. It's also got a semi-glossy finish to it as well from the hairspray used. And these are the pastels that I'm using for weathering powders. As you can see, I've used quite a few of them already. This particular one here is very good for grime. We have lots of browns and yellows to be used. I've been using this quite a fair bit as well. And I've been using this one for the handrails. So basically what I've been doing is I've been scratching these into a container to get the powder, and then through different methods that I've been experimenting with, I've been applying them to here. The best way I have found is to actually spray some hairspray into the container first, then scratch in the powder or powders that you want to use, because you can mix the powders into other shades if you wish. Then once that's done, I then with a paintbrush apply the powder that is now mixed with the hairspray into areas that I want it all in. So over here what I've done is I've deliberately applied green paint along the edges here, and if you look closely you can see the crazing effect on the paint, and I achieved that by applying Dettol into the dry paint and leaving it to soak in for a good couple of hours until this effect started to come in. Once I've done that, I then gently rinsed this under a tap. Don't use heavy water because that will just wash the paint away as well. But with a small trickle of water, I've rinsed out the Dettol out of the turntable here and then left it for a couple of days to dry. Once I've done that, you're left with this. So now we add the powders. So first of all, what I've done is I've added some orange to the hairspray using an old paintbrush. We will now add this into small little areas. So here we've made a start on it already. Any heavy areas, then just get a bit of toilet tissue and just blot it. Don't wipe, just blot. Dab it like that. And that'll take away any excess powder that you've applied. Now I've added a little bit of brown and I'm mixing this in with the orange to give a little bit more of a rust effect. Once you're happy with what you've applied, then spray over the top of that with more hairspray just to help seal it all in. And while the hairspray is wet, I've then gone in with my grime coloured chalk and I will scratch that along the edges here for it to stick into the hairspray. Now that's been applied, if you feel that you've put too much on, just give it a quick blow as soon as you've scratched it on before it settles into it properly. Then once you're happy with that, then spray over yet again with more hairspray. And this time all I've done is I've just given it a quick light spray over just to help for the grimy parts to stick in. Right, I'm now happy with that. I'm no expert at this. This is how I would do this. I'm still new to weathering, so I can only hope that the more I do, the more I'm going to improve on. So what I'll do now is I'm going to sort out the handrails, and then when I've done that, this will then be ready to reattach to the base. Unwanted areas, then with a cotton bud and a bit of water, because the hairspray is water based, it just comes straight off. Now for the wheels to be done. There we go, it's all now ready to go back onto the layout. In part 2 we'll be installing all the brickwork and everything else around the turntable, and then we'll be putting it in.